Okay. It amazes me too. It amazes me too because I do travel all over the world, and one of the countries that it truly amazes me by is in Russia. In Russia, they don't speak English, and they're not taught English as much as you are taught in this country. But therefore, they learn it phonetically through listening to the language. But the amazing thing is, when they hear me sing, they sing along with me. And that is the most amazing thing. I do have an interpreter on stage, and the interpreter does say what I say, one thing and another. The show takes a lot longer. But one thing and another, it's still a show, and it still goes down very well. The people love the show. And being Russia, you know, a country that hasn't had the opportunity to learn the language very fast, I do appreciate that they do take the chance to listen to my music. Thank you.
The Filipino audiences loves you, sir. The Filipino audiences loves you. Thank you.
They love me? I think they do. I love them too. Thank you. I tell you why. I can tell immediately when I walk out with the Filipino people in the audience. I can tell them immediately. You know, and there's a difference. There's a certain difference, you know. Sometimes I'll walk out and I look at the audience, especially in Silver Legacy, in Silver Legacy, where's that place? Sacramento. A lot of Filipino people over there, and I know exactly that they're there, you know. And they are a very good audience. And I tell you something, I'm expecting a better audience when I come here because they're over there and they are over here.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon and welcome to the Philippines.
Excuse me?
Welcome to the Philippines, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir, aside from your timeless hits, you were also known to have popularized the sideburns and your flamboyant style of outfits. How does it feel, sir, to be known as a trendsetter? And how else do you want to influence or set trends for new artists?
Yes, I was a trendsetter, yes. I did start my sideburns, I have to tell you. And at one time they were so long, I used to tuck them into my underpants and they used to tickle me to death. But it's a joke. It's a joke. No, I was the first one to bring the sideburns to the United States and all to the rest of the parts of the world, okay? And then people like the Beatles and Elvis and everybody caught on to it. And they started to grow them. But I was the first. I was numero uno. I was number one in the world with it, you know, and I was very happy with that. Although I stole something from the past, it's something that was around many, many years ago, maybe in the 18th century or something, 17th century, they all had these sideburns, you know. But I wasn't born those days, so I thought I'd bring it back. And that's when I did.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. My name is Karen. I would just like to ask this question. Of all the many hits that you've made, of all the many hit songs, is there one song in particular that is very much close to your heart? And if yes, why is that so?
I guess the one song that is really close to my heart has to be the song Release Me, because that's the one that stopped the Beatles from having their 13th #1. And of course it went into the Guinness Book of Records, and it's the most albums ever sold in that particular year in 1967. It sold millions and millions and millions of albums, and it outsold the Beatles by hand over foot. They really sold a lot of albums around the world, and it was #1 in 10 countries around the world, and of course it gave me the opportunity of being an artist, not only in one country, but all over the world. One song did that for me. In other words, it said, release me all over the world.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, could you tell us about doing duets with other artists in your new album, Engelbert Humperdinck?
Talk about singing with duets with the other people on the board.
Oh yeah. You know, that was a little singing on that album was quite wonderful for me, because I got to sing with some legendary people that I've always wanted to work with. But the only problem with that album is, you know, people have their jobs to do, and it took such a length of time. It took 2 years to put that project together, and if it takes such a long time to put it together, by the time after 2 years, by the time we get together,